The PL Show is brought to you by Kel Charcoal, Kel 360, and Kel Kids Toothpaste. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. There's a saying that I love so much. It says, when speed gets in the blood, one must drive to live. My guest today has speed. When we talk about educating, she's there. When we talk about being phenomenal, she is phenomenal in all ways. Women, when they are in sports, are different. And that's what my guest is today. She is different in every way. She's a rugby educator. My guest for today is, no, I won't tell you just yet. This is the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. It's brought to you by Kel 360, Kel Charcoal, and Kel Kids Toothpaste. My outfit is made possible by Kafui Clothing, and my makeup, which gets me very excited and confident, is from African American Beauty Academy, the Iron Danceman. Let me put you out of your misery and welcome my guest for today. If you don't clap, I won't welcome her. With a round of applause, let's welcome Rafatu Inusah. Welcome to the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. You see, I've been wanting to see you. Now I'm starstruck at this point. Welcome to the Kel Toothpaste PL Show.
Thank you so much.
You're doing amazing stuff. You're welcome. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Okay, well, at this point, let's take a quick break on the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. When we return, we get talking. We'll dig into the life of Rafatu Inusah. This is the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. I am Emefa, Apawu. Welcome.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I want fat missy way.
Me pacho bantama.
Matias.
It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me Jidi say we use Kel 360 toothpaste. Some me kind.
Kel 360 toothpaste.
Gaskia, Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasan. Kile ko saying. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
Hey, you will see so feeling when you know Kel 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. Let's start from the very beginning. Tell me all about you. Don't leave anything out.
I was born in Accra, specifically in Nima.
Oh.
Yes, and I grew up with my mom and dad, and knowing that things were very difficult as a then. But then, as young as I was as a then, I tried as much as possible to always be by my mom to assist her. She used to sell wache.
Okay.
So I used to help her. We wake up around 2:33 to set up the fire with my other siblings to help her.
How many siblings do you have?
I'm second, but we are 6 in numbers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then now started doing the business myself. I remember that was somewhere before 2000. That was when the school system, you have the morning and then the afternoon shift. So when we are in the morning, I'll help my mom to send the food to the school. So during break time, I come out from the class to come and sell.
Oh, wow.
And then after, by closing, then I'll take the things and go to the market, buy the stuff, send it back to her again, and then we restart again.
When you cast your mind back, take me back to your childhood. How would you describe the whole experience, apart from being, there for your mom and all that?
It was extremely difficult, very, very difficult. I remember one time we were going to school, myself and my younger brother. There was no money to go to school. And the only thing that was there was Gary. And as at then, my mom bought banku, if I remember, clearly. Let's say, for instance, a 1 cedi. So we have to eat the banku and leave the soup so that when we come back in the afternoon, we'll be able to put Gary inside the soup to have our lunch. So basically, it's a very difficult situation, which I'm urging each and every youth or young ones coming up that irrespective of the difficulties that you find yourself, definitely you have parents who don't have, not that they don't want to take care of their kids. They should really put out their best, because I know growing up, even fees, I paid my fees. Let's say, for instance,
how did you manage that?
Aside my nursery, so after class 5 and 6, I had to start selling on the street. I go to Malata market and buy the stuff, come back, wash, rearrange them, carry them all the way from 441 Kanda Highway and all the way to GBC.
What were you selling?
I sold a lot of things.
Okay.
I sold seasonal when it comes to, for instance, if it's pineapple, I sell pineapple. Pawpaw, I sell peanuts, I sell pure water. I do that. I even helped in some houses before, so I was able to save out of this during vacations to be able to help myself. Because I remember when I was completing my basic education, when it was time for my dad or my parent to pay for my the final examination fee, my dad told me he doesn't have, but he will definitely pay. So I didn't tell him I had, because I was saving the small coins I was having. So I went ahead and paid to the school, thinking that he would pay back, but he never came back. He didn't know how it ended. So after my JHS, I decided that if I want to wait for my parents or family members, I will not be able to pursue my education. So I went to sell back on the street again. I was able to save enough money to pay my school fees and some aspect of it. And I had my elder sister also supported me. So I did not do my secondary school in Accra.
Okay.
My basic was in Kanda cluster of school, to be specific, Kanda 1 basic. In 2004, I was made the Miss Kanda 1, all because of sports. So when I completed the basic, I decided to go outskirts of Accra. Okay. We have our family members in the north, so I had my admission at the Salaga Secondary School. So that's where I attended my secondary school. So every vacation I come back home, try and then sell, so that I'll be able to, support myself.
But for a person who didn't like to make friends, because your mom was mostly your friend, that's one thing I've picked from you. That I think is a good trait. How were you then able to, go through that secondary school education without your mom by your side?
It was difficult, but I picked up because in the boarding house, because I was in a boarding house, you should be able to socialize. Yeah. So when I went to the secondary school, actually, that's where I started having a close friend called Rafatu.
Oh, she's Rafatu and you're Rafatu.
Rafatu, yeah. Before we became friends, we had a fight.
So tell me about it.
I think somebody went and told some lies to her, and then I said, look, for you to be able to get things clearer, call this person in front of me, let's
trash it out.
Let's just bring it out. So she did, and then they asked them in front of me and everybody, and the guy said no, that wasn't what she said, and this wasn't true. And
the scores were settled right there.
Yeah, she rather blasted the other people, and then that's how it started.
It appears you have very fond memories growing up.
Yeah.
It takes us to our Seed to Oak segment, where we can capture everything in under a minute on Rafatu growing up. And that's our Seed to Oak segment, brought to you by Kel Kids Toothpaste, strawberry flavored, ideal for brushing for your kids all the time, twice a day, and is FDA approved. Let's talk about athletics. Why rugby?
First of all, naturally within my family, I have a lot of sports. Men. I'm the only sports female within my family till now. One of my uncle is working with the GFA now. One, two is a coach. So my sporting career started way back in the basic school, Kanda 1 basic.
How old were you then?
9, 10, 11, around that time. And I love to do my personal training. So when it came to the inter-schools competition, and they said everybody should come and try their luck so that they will select a team for the school. So I stepped in, and then that was when I was found or picked. So I started doing the long distance.
I'm sure you remember the teacher that picked you.
Yeah, I'm currently looking for Mr. Omari. He really impacted a lot on me to some extent. Some time ago, there was no food. I will try and come and train, but there was no food. And this man who buy lunch, if it's breakfast, he will prepare this milk with creamy, idle milk inside. You feel special. He was a math teacher, but at the same time the sports teacher. So he tried to encourage that, look, you can still do learn and then still do sports. Because
Mr. Omari, wherever you are, Rafatu is looking for you, and I'm sure once you're here you'll definitely find him. Yes. So then let's move on from there. At what point then, after basic, you continued at the senior high school level? Yeah,
so I was doing 3,000, 1,500 and 800 meters for the school. And so that's how come I came by the name Miss Kanda 1, because when we were completing, that was what I was named by the school.
Would you believe me if I told you that I used to do 100 meters?
Wow.
You don't believe the wow on your face. You don't believe it, but it's true. I used to do 100 meters. Lovely. That's nice. So let's go on.
So when I went to the secondary school, and I realized that, you can still continue with the sporting activity there. Back then, I was also involved with football. So I was doing long distance for the school and playing football for the school. So when I went back to secondary school, I continued with that to also represent not only at the house level, but also represent the school level. Okay. So when I completed secondary school and came back to Accra, and there was this program, Can 208. I was part of the choreographers of the opening ceremony. So one of my cousin, Abdul Samed Said, he said that, but then he was the national captain for rugby. And he told me that, look, they want to introduce women's rugby in Ghana, so why not give it a try? I know that you love to do sports, so come and give it a try. So he gave me transport to go all the way from Nima to Legon to go and be part of the Justify. Okay. So on that day, after training, I was selected to be part of the group to
Were you playing rugby before?
No, that
was just your first time.
That was my first time to even touch the ball. So I was lucky or fortunate to be part of the people who were selected to camp before the final selection. And unfortunately, I was selected among the team that played in that year. That was in 2009. Okay. In the Northwest African tournament hosted in Ghana at Ewak.
How was that game? How did it go, that competition?
It was tough, and because it was all of us, it was our first time competing. But fortunately, we were third.
Is it a difficult sport, rugby?
Not difficult. It's like any other team sports. They all jump and land, and and they all have similar injuries. Just that because this one is physical contact. Yeah. But I believe if you are determined to do anything, irrespective, you can still do it.
Looking at the society that you come from, the area that you grew up, your family background, and then being a Muslim as well, and entering into sports in the arena, the path that you've chosen, how did community, family take the venture that you're taking on to? Like, how do they accept it?
I would say that it's difficult, not difficult, because I remember back at my basic level when I used to run, and you get people sending back the information back to the community. And we all know about Marion Jones, who, go for this long distance, and everybody has a mentor. And so it got to a time they were bringing the information. Rafa was doing well, she came first, she came black. So back at then there was a guy within the community started calling me Marion Jones. So it also encouraged me to do more of the athletics. So, but then within you can see I have a mark here. I had it during after I formed my first team to play in the Women's League in Ghana. That was in 2017. And then that was my first serious injury that I had, broke my nose. And then back in the community, they say, you spoil your beauty, stop playing. So I had so many lashes as to just stop the sports and choose other sports things, or other things to do, But I just said to myself, this is what I want to do. In the first place, if I didn't want to, I wouldn't go there. So, and I had so many people. We have people who discourage you, people who also motivate you. One of them, who is past now, Mr. Steve Noy, who was the one also encouraging me. And then our current president of Ghana Rugby, who is now the current Rugby Africa president, Mr. Herbert Mensah, are all these people who mentored me to face my obstacles, because wherever you're, even if you're driving, if there's going to be an accident, it will definitely happen. So irrespective, you have to face your challenge and then move on. And then when you come back to community where I come from, women need to be protected or covered. And growing up, I was a child, so with athletics, we are wearing shorts, so I thought it was normal. But as I get to my adolescent age, I just started also trying to cover up myself, and then knowing that I'm a Muslim, I need to cover up myself. But it got to a time when I started with the rugby, and one day I was doing some research and I saw Iran and I think Egypt, and they were wearing their hijab playing rugby, and I said, oh, so if they can, I can also try. So I started using my hijab to play, and then I realized nobody said stop or don't do this, so I continue with it. And I said, why not? If you can tell the community that, look, you can still be in your hijab and do not only rugby, other things altogether. So I decided to introduce rugby into Kanda cluster of school. It got to a time every end of term, I organize end of term competitions for the cluster of school. So, yes.
Is it basically focused on females in these schools, or you look at the males as well? Or for now we're focusing on the females?
I'm focusing on both men, women, boys and girls. But the initial start was that to tell the girls out there that you can still do it. So I started with the girls, but then right now I have a lot of boys that I started with, which they are almost into the national team, and then some of the girls too also. And then one of the girls that I coached before, and she's now training with the national team, she was named a year ago or two the Young Unstoppable of World Rugby. So, and I was made the Unstoppable in 2020 by Africa Rugby. And it doesn't come just by looking at, they look at what you do in your various communities. So they went through other countries. So in the end, they scrutinized and had 12 ladies across Africa, and I was fortunate to be part of the 12 ladies selected to be there.
Deservedly so. You formed the female team as well? Yes, the female team. Oh, really? So how many of these females in your community have you been able to put in that team?
When I formed the team in 2017, there was only one team. So, and World Rugby and Africa Rugby need women to be involved in not only playing, but coaching and administration. So I formed the Conquest Ladies. So we had two teams. So I said, no, we need to encourage the other clubs, the male clubs, to be able to also form the ladies team so that we'll be able to play league matches. And so when we started playing, the first match was just 2 of us, the 2 teams. That's where I had my injury. And then it continued. So we had 4 teams.
Now, girls now our community are utimi form to join, you know, teams, no acceptance, no. How has it been? You'd say?
Oh, I took the beer, baby. Difficult. Do time beer. I say yanko omu fie. Na ye ne omu parent akasa. Say shemi ankasa po. Me oba anti metimebo. I say oni teachers in kasa. Na oni omu parents in kasa. Sometimes a beche answer na parents ni omu be pinese. Omu be ma omu nkola akoye. Do the beer ball games now and I say, oh, we perform here now say I like or moka krana. Difficult mom dear because one say community now na free say ma say omo work kitchen na omo boa wo fie. So it's very difficult say maybe time na co training no the same time I say on boa wo fie. So
more opportunities is here. Speak to the society, your community, convince them why you feel that they should allow you to get your girls out there to be like you.
Assalamu alaikum. Sunana Rafatu Inusah. Ni ina bugan rugby kuma na gwada taya ma mutane su bugan rugby. Be nufi kaman kana cikin ija abinka ba kai sports ba rugby kadai ba. Akwai so many alherin da ke ciki sports rugby ba even ba rugby kadai ba. So inde aka ba matanmu yaranmu wannan hanya su ma su yi su gwada kamar duniya kamar su ma ba cikin madafa ko kitchen yayi kamaci su zama su akwai abubuwa da wanda yaran matanmu za su yi bayan cikin gida girkin da ya kamaci su yi. So ina fata na roko iyayenmu maza da mata ayi ba yaran matanmu hanya inde abinda suke son su yi in terms of sports ba lalle shi rugby ba maybe me shi na so yi football ko me shi na so yi athletics a bashi anya
okay, tend to have that, you know, they talk about lesbianism, amongst others, that's into like women in sports. I'm sure that you've heard this before. Let's clarify it. Like, how prevalent is it really? I'm sure you've heard about it. Tell us about it.
I think growing up and then being in sports up to even when I started rugby, I didn't have the clue because me, I just mind my business.
Exactly.
But I think with the currently in all sports in federation or arena, they are.
No.
They
Okay.
are.
How
I
have
try.
you been able to, you know, cross that hurdle? Is it because of how principled you are? How has it been?
Most people don't cross my line. So I think if you give that chance, people cross your line. So
Okay.
I don't cross other people's line. I'm in my lane. And if you cross my line, there's a problem. So
Charlie, I didn't fear yourself now at this point.
no.
Okay. Well, so in wrapping up, Rafatu, I think that I've learned so much from you. But for those who are just catching up, or you would want to tell them what they need to know in terms of choosing a path, if it's not just even wanting to be a rugby player or getting into sports, whatever they find themselves in, because I've seen that you're very strong, you've been able to surmount all the challenges and you're still climbing up. How do we climb up with you?
I think to the young ones out there, specifically to, let me be,
I don't know.
to the female, because women have a lot to give to the society, a lot to give it to the country and to the world at large. Whatever you put in front of you to do, please put out your best. Just put out the hard work, irrespective of where you find yourself, whether you are rich or poor. Just put out your best, whether it's education, whether it's sports, whether it's a vocation. Just make sure that you put your 1000% there, and I bet you'll make it. Definitely, it's not going to come easily, but you definitely make it to the highest level.
Definitely you make it. Thank you so much, Rafatu Inusah. And I'll be following you. It's too late for me to start sports because at this point, maybe I'll just come for training and just get fit at this point. But you've really inspired me. I've told you I've been watching you from afar, so I'm very happy to see you. They brought my gifts. I was hoping I'll surprise you, but they brought it in the open. But this is from us to you, and to celebrate phenomenal women like you, and to also inspire you and to spur you on to keep on doing what you're doing. We are very proud of you as a team. So this is from us to you. But I'm sure that there are some products in there that you recognize, don't you?
I think yes, especially with the spray. But the paste, I saw it when I came through to the
okay. So
building,
this is
and I was watching.
You testify. Once you use them, you'd see, you'll come back again. But that's not all. That's not all, you see. When phenomenal ladies get onto the show, we need to celebrate them properly. And once you're a queen, the queen that you are, I have a beautiful stool for you.
Oh, wow.
So you can come and then I present that to you. So this is from us to you. Continue
so
being the queen. Anytime you see it, know that you are the queen, that it's always worth celebrating. So once again, thank you, Rafatu.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Celtic Pace PL Show. Another exciting one comes your way, same time, right here on this channel. As always, don't forget, log on to our YouTube channel, like, and also share on all our social media platforms. I am Emefa Apawu, and this is the Celtic Pace PL Show.